Hey, so today we'll be streaming Vintage Survival Salad. For those of you who don't know, Hollow One and Vengevine have sort of become a very real deck in Vintage. Okay, first, let me explain why I'm playing Vintage today. Vintage is one of my favorite formats. It's also totally inaccessible. I'll show you the list and the price tag, and we'll just. Ugh! Uh, that is why I don't play Vintage. Other hand, really neat, really neat deck. We've got we have mana dorks in the form of noble hierarchs. We've got Lavinias that just shut down all the zero drops, like the Moxen, your Lotuses. So they're really good. It stops mental missteps, which is ridiculous. Uh, we have Vengevines, we have Spirit Guides, these sort of like silvery bullet cards. Now, the idea is that we use Survival of the Fittest, pitching Vengevines or Basking Rootwalla to be able to tutor out cards like Hollow One. We can also pitch Wonder and Squee so that we can do more tutoring. And Squee will recur so we can keep generating card advantage because he comes back to our hand. We get to search out another card, and every turn we just get to keep adding to what we have. Then we have Wonder, which when we control an island and Wonder is in your grave, all your creatures have flying. Pretty nice. Then we also have Stony Silences in the main. Now you're probably like, why the hell do you have Stony Silences in the main? You've got 3 Moxen and a Lotus. Well, right now, Vintage is sort of overrun with these incredibly fast decks, namely Paradoxical Outcome and some of the more Xeroxy lists. Which means, in the case of Xeroxy lists, you run out of Mentor, you can trip a lot, and then you pass. And the next turn you kill your opponent because you have a bunch of Monk tokens and you're drawing like 8 cards each turn. That's not necessarily healthy, but such is life. So we have this interesting tutor package thanks to Survival of the Fittest. By being able to pitch Basking Rootwalla, we get to cast a creature for free, so we get our Vengevines. You can end up just cycling through a bunch of Vengevines off Survival and grab Hollow Ones to cast for free because each time you end up discarding a card, Hollow One gets cheaper. So the deck is very synergistic. Now, we run the card that is ultimately going to need to be restricted thanks to the London Mulligan. Hello, Canadian Siege. Wait, sorry. Hello there. Wait, no, it's General Kenobi. Hello there. Pardon me. Bazaar lets us draw cards, put things into our graveyard. We're like a better version of Dredge. We have our anti-combo and hate. We have hate for things that end up putting our stuff into exile. We also have Deputy of Detention for that. We have Containment Priests for Oath. Plowshares also for Oath and for pretty much anything. Energy Field is for all of the big artifact decks. We aren't running Leyline of the Void because we would rather be actually casting something. Leyline is very good, but right now Dredge lists have been built more to be able to cope with it as a primary way of hating out a deck. So, with that in mind, our list is a bit more finely tuned. Now, we have a 1 of Deathrite Shaman in here because he lets us eat cards and make our first game against Dredge potentially winnable. And we also have a Chalice in here. Chalice we can put on 1, and we can just get a bunch of blowouts. So, we can also look at it here. Fortunately, we have... I don't know if we have the better art for things. Oh, we have the better art for Noble Hierarch. I actually don't like these Moxes better than the Vintage Masters ones, but... we do run a basic forest, and that's basics in Legacy, especially non-island basics, are very odd things. We're predominantly a green deck. Our secondary color is blue, and our tertiary is white. Now, when we play against anything that's really trying just to max out the moxes to play opals, anything that has paradoxical outcome, Lavinia is a great way of just completely ruining their game plan. By the way, I am almost omniscient, according to our Twitter bio. That's me. You can follow me on Twitter for great Magic meme-related content. We also have a few other wonderful players, including two more who are not up here. We have like an About Us, we have donations, which would be very appreciated. You can check out our older videos on YouTube. I do pretty much modern, legacy, and vintage. This is my first time actually getting to play vintage on stream. And you can check us out on TCG Player. Later this week, we are tomorrow at 7:30. Tomorrow at 7:30 is standard with Donovan. It's Team of Reclamation. Wednesday at 9 p.m. is going to be Mike playing Arena using Mono White. Arena. Then Thursday we have Richie playing Modern with Blue Red Phoenix. Because Richie needs some practice before this coming open in Cleveland, which I will be going with him. I, on the other hand, don't need to practice. I'm running Blue-Black Fairies. What could go wrong? Duh. And then Friday, Josh will be playing Legacy with Sneaky Dino Stompy. That's a sneak attack dinosaur deck. Little unique. Saturday at 7:30, Drew will be playing Commander. And then Sunday at 7:30, Russ will be playing Modern. You know, Commander, a lot of Commander players would be surprised how much of the things that they know sort of carry over into Vintage. It's okay, so we are we should be someone just needs to play league match and we'll be good to go. Sometimes for Vintage it's harder to queue up simply because it's a much smaller, tighter knit community versus, say, let's take a quick look at Legacy. Comparison, 132 to 560. Now let's look at Modern. As you can see, a lot larger number of players, much easier to get matches going, but that's all right. I started early because I want to be able to get through these matches, and I figure it'll be a good time. No, you. I swear I'm not flirting, boss. I would never do such a thing. Never on stream. Yeah, I'm just really pretty. I'm sorry you can't be so attractive. Maybe one day you'll get there. Like that dinosaur 5-0 in Legacy. I'm so gonna be fired. Love you too. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna pull up a few of the vintage decks just to sort of break it down. Okay. This is the most quintessential vintage deck. This is just blue-red Pyromancer. You just cantrip and cantrip and cantrip, and you plus stack Faden, and eventually you draw enough cards to bury your opponent. Does that sound like the most exciting way of winning? It's not. But it's a lot of fun because you're just drawing a ton of cards. Under what circumstances is not that the best way of winning? Now, let's talk about the elephants in the room. Shops. So, Shops is based around the card Mishra's Workshop. It produces 3 colorless mana that you can only spend on artifacts. Good news is, this deck is on 18 lands and 42 artifacts. Turns out, a repeatable Black Lotus is pretty good. Unlike in a lot of legacy lists where you'd see City of Traders or some less optimal lands, in this case, you don't, because you're workshopping out whatever you want. Normally, this means you can have some pretty insane starts. Like, you can get a turn 1 Trinisphere into play, and unless you're in the mirror, that's pretty devastating, because you automatically have 3 mana. Chances are they're going to have 1 with their land. And then, because you're on 4 Wastelands and a Strip Mine, you can ruin the game. And a lot of the time, a turn 1 Trinisphere will result in a concession. Now, you can also just have a ton of artifact mana to play out, say, Foundry Inspector into, like, Overseer and a Hangerback. And that's a really sort of domineering start where you have a really big board state that's hard to break. The one thing about Shops now is that, unlike before, it is much less of a prison deck. So, it used to be that you were on 4 Lodestone Golems, so non-artifact cards cost 1 more to cast. And you'd have something like 2 Metamorphs. And so the goal was to just play a lot of Metamorphs and Lodestone Golems and sort of flood the board with Lodestones, stop opponents from being able to cast anything. And then on top of that, you had 4 Spheres, 4 Thorns, and you had 4 Chalice of the Voids. And so you'd be able to just shut off an opponent's game plan. And that's great and all, but they ended up sort of banning those things out because it is easier than hitting a... How much dollar card? Yes, $2,000 card. It's one of the reasons why Vintage is so slow to change, is because when you are invested in a deck, more so than any other format, you are locked into that deck, unless you have been playing a very long time or are making very nice money. I suppose you could also just spend very nice money irresponsibly. Out of sideboard, so as you might be able to tell, this sort of deck kind of crumples to a lot of things that are in ours. We've got Stony Silences. This entire deck, let's see, count the number of activated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have 12 different cards that are just turned off by Stony Silence. Now, the reason why Stony Silence is used in this deck over Null Rod is that despite the more restrictive mana cost, it is much harder to deal with enchantments in this format than it is artifacts. Alright, so hopefully we go first. Oh no. Huh. So, when assessing whether to keep this hand, we have 2 lock pieces that, if we were on the play, would be very, very good. On the draw, we have to consider whether or not, well, they're going to kill us turn 1. So our deck doesn't run Forceful, even though bug lists do. We have some land destruction, which is very good if they are on potentially shops. But going second, Chalice the Void and Stony Silence are much worse. Additionally, we don't have anything to dig through our deck, so I'm going to toss this back. This is a keep. So here we have a Bazaar to be able to put a Vengevine and something else into our yard. We also have a Spirit Guide and a Savannah to be able to cast Stony Silence on turn 1. Okay. So, there's a good chance they are on... This one's really tough now. So I can get a Bazaar to play a Hollow One this first turn, which is good and all. But I think it's probably more important to stop them from being able to use that Lotus. So I'm going to play this Savannah, pitch a Spirit Guide, and cast Stony Silence. Now, they may have a force. If they don't, great. We've ended up shutting off one of the most powerful plays that they can have. Now, I stopped the Brainstorm because I really don't feel like giving them more opportunities to dig for a green source and be able... yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. It's gonna stink if that's a Leovold. Yep, it's a Leovold. Leovold makes Bazaar pretty, underwhelming. I think actually I just want to pass here until I can use this Bazaar just to pitch 3 cards and run out a Hollow One. Ideally, there's a Basking Rootwalla somewhere here, which... This isn't a good matchup, per se. In fact, I'd argue it's bad, because they have Deathrite Shaman, which means they're able to shut off a lot of our plays. Out of the board, this matchup definitely becomes better, because we're going to have a few different remedies. Mostly a Swords to Plowshares, honestly, is the biggest thing. Against them... Sorcerer's Spyglass is probably fine. Because Spyglass shuts off Deathrite, as well as, like, Mind Sculptors. So he's tapped out, which means that we are going to be able to cast... Okay. We're going to be able to cast that, then we're going to cast our Hollow One and get back our Vengevine. Now, he made a really bad mistake in the tapping out, which we are going to punish him quite badly for. I'm hoping we force him to trade with, like, the Leo, because that would make life way easier. I'm not sure what he's digging for because most bug lists. Oh, Tarmogoyf, that's it. Mm. Well, let's see. We have artifact. We have land. Oh, we have a creature. Damn. Mm-hmm. So he's just going to try burying us in card advantage now. Uh, hmm. If we can get a noble or a Deathrite Shaman of our own, we have a much better way of dealing with this. Hmm. If I attack with the Vengevine... Actually, I think I just want to swing out. Oh, he has the Fatal Push. Oh. Oh, no, he's going to... He's on the trophy? Or is he on the decay? Hmm. Yeah, decks that actually have main board removal can prove very, very difficult, as in this instance here. The Assassin's Trophies are pretty rough for the Bant version, the bug version, because of a better grip on. Like, the bug version has a few cards that are definitely more beneficial here. Um, I think I'm going to want to bring in. Uh, Flusterstorm. Hmm. Okay, so he gets to eat a instant or sorcery to us. 5. Hmm. This format is hard, but so we're gonna just pass priority here because it's more important to sort of figure out what our plan is. Okay, so is he on the list with Thief of Sanity or no? Strange as it sounds, Thief of Sanity sees Vintage play, which isn't particularly surprising, honestly. And then we die because he just flashes back Time Walk repeatedly, or he flashed it back once. We need that first of all. Hmm. Okay, so we need all of these. I don't know how good our chalice is here. I know our stonies are not. I think those are things we need spaces for Nature's Claim because he'll be bringing in Leyline of the Void. Leyline of the Void and uh, like Grafdigger's Cage and what's the last one? There's another one that's sort of ubiquitous in the format. I want this spyglass. I think it's probably a Lavinia that goes. Um, Flusterstorm is probably okay as one of. Cutting. So here's where we start having to cut things from our core. And I don't want to cut any root walls because they allow the most explosive starts, which are the ones we need in this matchup. I don't think we can bring in the Flusterstorms. Okay, well, let's run it. Vintage, for all the shit-talking people give it, is a fairly intricate format. And how much you like Vintage is mostly dependent on how much you can tolerate the importance of one-ofs. If you love playing with one-ofs, you're just gonna love the format. Turn 1 root wall a hollow one. Pitching extra bazaars, having a Windswept Heath to get a trop for our Time Walk. You know, I'm not even upset about it. So now we get a Basking Root Walla, and we have a hollow one. It's turn 1. And this is the norm. Yeah. Some days are interesting. Especially when you are playing Vintage. So we can... I'm not going to end up using this Bazaar again. I think I just want to play... That was a mistake. I was supposed to have played the Noble Hierarch. Oh. Punt count 1. So, I'm not sure what I want to fetch for off of the Windswept Heath. Either way, we'll actually be able to punch in with Basking Root. So the next turn we'll swing with a hollow one. Then the next turn after that we'll also be able to swing with the Basking Root Walla because we won't have screwed up our mana as much. Please attack. He's not going to, but there was hope. I almost want to put an Urborg in here just so I can use Bazaar for actual, mana purposes. Yeah, this format is odd. So, I'm not totally sure how I lose here. Because I'm going to be able to pump the... Oh, wait, I have one more mana than I thought. Okay, well, I'm gonna... So Wonder at least is like a card we can use as a flyer, I guess. I think I just want to have a hollow one, and like the Teague doesn't actually matter too much. But it is a creature that we can cast. Yeah, no, it's weird. I'm used to playing Legacy, but today I was feeling it. I was feeling the vintage. How are you doing, man? What are you going to cast? I'm scared. Okay. So, as you can see, just traditional graveyard hate isn't actually super good against Hollow Vine. Happy to hear that, cool. This is Cool Fizz, everybody. He's the best. I'm trying to learn to be the best from him. They don't run Deluge in that deck, do they? I don't think they run... They run a 1 of Deluge in the board. Okay. Ooh, what decks you doing? We'll bring in a Flusterstorm over... How many things do they cast that cost like nothing? Missteps. They leave in force, obviously. Okay. Lavinia is probably better than Teague here because she's also marginally easier on the mana. Chalice going second. Kinda bites. Ah, well, you know, I suppose all of them counts. What are you updating? All of them. Okay. Well, hopefully we get a kind of nut start. Yeah, War of the Spark is going to be wild. Oh, 100% keeping this. We have a Survival turn 1, and we have a Noble. This will enable us to actually sort of toolbox for things we need to be able to beat them. Not just survive. I'll stop. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got the misstep out of their hand at least. That is pretty helpful. This next turn, I don't know if I want to lead on the Spyglass or a Survival. I know that the first turn I should have just played out the Survival since I had a chance to. Please use that. Okay. Done and done. So we can end up We can end up using survival, pitching the Vengevine to be able to get. Well, actually, there are a few different things we can get. Yeah, survival is. It's an amazing card. It is. No abrupt decay, please. No. Drats. Well, we can always draw a Bazaar. Whose upkeep are we on? Uh. Well, we'll see if we get this. Shit, dude. Yeah, you're good. Survival is such a fun card. I don't. So, survival is what everyone's favorite card to complain about ruining Modern, Birthing Pod, is based on. Interestingly, Pod wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination. Let's clarify that. It was not good for the game. But was it? Did it ruin Modern? No. I'd argue in many respects it was very helpful for having a format identity. Now, when it comes to. Yeah, dude, live your best life. When it comes to Legacy, I think survival would not be the most unreasonable thing to unban. No, I need to like tack this on with a if Grizzlebrand were banned, there would be no reason to even muse about survival of the fittest. Survival is banned for Vengevine. Not elves, Vengevine. And now I would be ecstatic to play Hollowvine in Legacy. Okay. I'm curious as to what he's going to do with that, because if he plays a Jace, I'll probably just try Spyglassing him. Interesting call. I'm going to get a Savannah, and we're actually just going to attempt to Spyglass him. Because... Alright. Oh, boy. Chat, here I have to do a real big think. So if I get the Jace... If I name the Jace, he can... Deathrite, he can claim the... I think he claims at that point. Okay, we'll name the Jace. Okay. And we'll pass it over to him. The good news is that we have a way of dealing with... We can end up plowing his Deathrite Shaman. We play... Yes. I don't think the Wasteland is as useful as... You probably think. Hmm. So we plowshares. We plowshares this. Draw the nature's claim. Or draw out. Deathrite? So we plowshares the Deathrite. And then we play a survival. And then when he goes to... He'll probably use the claim on it. Because it is better to use a... Well, okay, he might just abrupt decay the survival. Which would stink, but wouldn't be the weirdest thing in the world. So the question is... Yeah. Now he has to be really careful. Because... Oh! Oh my. Okay. Yeah. That's groovy, my dude. I was not expecting that. Let alone him hitting strip mine over anything else. We'll run out of asking root walla. Did he use a snap or something? Oh, he ended up losing the... He used the abrupt decay. I had forgotten about that. So he has snap and an unknown? Or... Yeah, that's a little sad. If we can get a land, Deputy takes out the ley line, and we just are off to the races. If we get a Bazaar, we drop 2 hollow ones minimum. This deck is so resilient. Misstep, by the way, Misstep is a 2 of in this deck, and it's a 4 of in their deck. Give me a sec to see if there's somewhere where it's not. Oh, he's just going for card advantage. He just wants to refuel. One, two, three, four, five, six. He's gonna delve away a Time Walk. Huh. If that is not desperate times, I do not know what is. Yeah, Misstep is mostly a 4 of. So, as funny as it is, go, my root walla. Okay, so he's not blocking, which means we can play another root walla. And this is our grand strategy, is to just play basking root wallas. and hit him for 2 each turn. There's that deluge. Well, that stinks. I mean, he might. I don't think he would get a Leo. He might. A lot of it. Oh, he might get his strip. Oh no, he's out of strip mines. He has one more wasteland. So the reason why I say he has one more wasteland is because most Deathrite decks can't afford to run more than 2 wastelands. It's a very sort of odd restriction, but it is one that I am happy to see in the format. It's not technically a restriction of any kind. Yeah. Drawing a whole lot of cards, my dude. But like, where's your follow-up? Okay. We're going to attack with these two. I am fairly certain he's not going to block. Because if he blocks, I can end up trading up. If he blocks with Leo, he loses his Leovold, and then his deck sort of falls apart. Never considered what I'd do beyond this. I think I want that Leovold on the board even less than I want that Leyline of the Void on the board. So far, I've got to admit, this deck is a ton of fun. Just absolute blast. So the reason I took the Leovold is because if we get a Bazaar, we can still win just with 2 hollow ones. Okay. So he's going to crack the Spell Bomb, Fatal Push our Deputy. Such is the struggle. There are no creatures in Yard, though. That's the good news. So we can hit him for 7 this turn? God, Vintage is a treasure. So here's where things get a little awkward because these Basking Root Wallas can end up putting in a lot of work here. But I'm also very scared of Fatal Push to get back Leovold. I think I'm going to attack with the Root Walls, though. So another thing is that this format is hard. It's just hard. So what are you going to kill? Okay. But, like, why, though? I don't see... I mean, it might draw him into something. He'll probably throw Snap out. That's a good sign. Because I get to deal with both of them? Oh, shit. I was not expecting that, so chances are he's just going to restock his board. That or he has he has multiple missteps. It's one of the two. If he digs here, I know that he has nothing, and he just needs something to stick on board. Yeah, he's probably just looking for something to run out. Damn, he is being very aggressive about just needing things. I realize the time is actually getting surprisingly low because normally survival salad. It's called survival salad because of Vengevine, and you run survival of the fittest. It's not the best name in the world, but it's what we got. I don't want to just have to run out hollow ones, but I might. Huh? So he definitely has a Jace. Okay. So we bash in with our Vengevine. I was really hoping you wouldn't block that. But that's alright. We have a time walk to set up for plays later. I don't know what exactly. Ooh, drats. I don't know actually if he'll have enough time to kill us. And we still, I think, win if we draw into a Bazaar. And also we can just hard cast Hollow Ones, and that's totally hunky-dory. So, play a Time Walk? No. The most mono green deck in Vintage. If he tries to Nature's Claim, we can Mental Misstep it, which is a really nice sort of reprieve I'd rather let him have the preordain. He knows we have a misstep. So we can misstep the recall. Okay, so he's going to misstep our misstep. Okay. Really odd, because I don't actually know. So we swing at. If there's no good way of dealing with this. That Infernal Reckoning is so good here. Like, it is. Show game log. Did he put on bottom? I should have left the Teague in over Lavinia because Teague stops. This is going to be a really tight one. Okay, so he's going to Infernal Reckoning, and I got to dig through time. Okay, like I can live with that. Like no problems whatsoever with letting him dig through time here. If I were a sadistic asshole, actually I would have let him resolve that, simply because it would have taken more time for it to resolve. Yeah. I don't think this matchup is good for us, except for like hands like we had game 2 with a double hollow one. we sort of need a deputy of detention or... Okay. Ugh, gross. Survival. Now, if he fate seals us... The question is, do we should probably just fetch if he fate seals us. Unless he puts it on the bottom. Creature. If we get a creature, we can end up turning it into a deputy of detention to exile his Jace. And then I don't know what he does to not lose. Come on, creature. Or recall. Don't have the force. Or do have the force. That was stupid. I could have just cast the Vengevine. First, let me make sure that I have... Yeah, I still have a deputy. Oh, he had the force. Shucks. That was still a really good game. If I had just left Tegan over the damn Lavinia. All right, let's get back in that queue. Yeah, that was unfortunate. It was a really close match. Had I left in a Teague over the Lavinia, we would have been able to just... He never would have cast a Jace or a Leyline. Yes. Assuming they aren't on Dredge, this hand is really good. I immediately regret keeping this hand. Um. Oh boy. That was stupid. Had I done that during my main phase, I could have ended up potentially casting a hollow one if I drew into it. Yep. Mm, my punts. That's what I got for not being a vintage player. Mm. Hopefully they're on shops. I thought it said it went to 7. What kind of nonsense? Oh, I am stoked. I don't know what's happening, but he's using Workshop in a... Ooh, woo lad. I am hot and bothered by this. I just wish I remembered what the deck is called. It's got a name and it's a technically important deck ish. Please no land. Yep. Such a weird format. Okay, so in order to not lose, we need a survival of the fittest to be able to get our... Nah. Hmm. Well, I think we attack. And the next turn, we hopefully get, like, we draw into, like, a Root Walla, and we get a Vengevine. Prison Dredge. It's so greedy. You know, for you folks at home, I am learning so much by losing this game. Well, at least after board, we side in like a dozen cards. V1 the saving grace. Now, if he sides in, whatchamacallits. Yeah, okay, well. Was I expecting that? Literally never. Should I have been prepared for that? No. But we bring in a nice hot 9 cards for this matchup. A. We don't need Stony Silences here. They are pretty bad. You don't seem super great. Chalice also seems pretty awful. Misstep. Goodbye. So, Rav Traps are zeros. Well, Lavinia's okay. I think I'd rather have survival to be able to get my ways of winning here. What a wonderful world. Yeah, I know. I can't do that. Maybe a noble. Our opponent disconnected. Cool. And here. Okay, so we cut. I don't know what the hell the cut is. Maybe it's just wonder. Yeah, it feels just like cut to wonder. Well, either this is going to be. This is either going to be like. We get there, or we get lucky and they disconnected when we get there. Personally, I want to have the wonderful experience you only get in Vintage and Modern of mulling for your hate and nothing else. Oh, Aaron, why did you mull? There were no hate cards, and I'm playing in stretch. Yes, I would like to play first. Snapkeep. We have a turn 1 hollow 1 Rootwalla. Oh, now they're disconnected. Okay. Come on. I came here to showcase the beauty of vintage, and now I can't because our opponent isn't connected, so I can't end up playing a turn 1 Bazaar Baghdad to run out a hollow one and a Basking Root Walla at minimum. It's 5 power on turn 1. It's very tame. So, chat, how's everybody doing? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. We have 2 Containment Priests, so even if he uses whatchamacallit, like a Dismember or something, we can run one out. Okay, well. Pitch 3 and potentially get another, like, hollow one. Okay, so we're going to be fetching for a Trop. He left the Null Rod Zone. Interesting. I don't think it's correct to do so, but... Boy, this is a weird one. Okay, so he has 2 Bloodghasts. How many Cabal therapies do you have? 1? Holy cow. That's a ton of prized amalgam. Quad prized amalgam. Big yikes. So we aren't attacking. Nice. No, we're just going to get this out of the way now. Okay. So even if he is on a list that's running the Force Misstep plan, but he didn't dredge. Interesting. So I'll go to 10. During his end step, I can play out a Containment Priest. This does not feel great. Rev Trap, please. Well, Rev Trap isn't going to do much here. I wish I had more plowshares in my board. This is a sticky widget. A tricky business. Whatever. I'm curious what he's looking for. Oh, probably a nature's, or not a nature's claim, a hollow one of his own. Because it's a great way of sort of breaking open dredge mirrors, because suddenly you're getting rid of all these cards you're not doing anything with anyway. Haha. We throw 2 Containment Priests at one of them. And this is the best we got. Which isn't saying much. I wonder if he's on Ratchet Bombs. If anyone in the chat has any experience playing against sure, bro. So now we got a clock. 5 turns. Yeah, this is a weird one. Good news is we still have our basic forest in deck, so we can fetch that out with our Misty. And I think I'm going to want to do that during this turn's end step anyway. The next game, though, I can't keep a hand like this. I just have to look for Raft Traps. Because that's what you do. You get the Raft Traps, or you lose. This is something Donovan, my friend who will be streaming tomorrow, and I learned when testing Phoenix. Interesting. I'm going to attack with a hollow one here because if he blocks, great. If he doesn't and he attacks, we can block with the noble the next turn. Actually, we can just play out our Lotus and Nature's Claimant to stop ourselves from potentially just dying to something. Man, Vintage is wild. I never truly appreciated how the clock... Has the clock changed at all? Okay. Hmm? Interesting. And how did he pay for the rest of the... I'm very perplexed. Can someone explain to me how he cast that? Okay, so we start eating his blood ghasts now until we aren't worried about it. But we're going to have to throw nobles in front of the grave troll. Okay. So that's something we can just throw in front of the grave troll. I still don't understand how he casts the grave troll. Wish this deck had one black source. Where are you? Bloodghast. Green. Okay. Block there. Now, if we can get a deputy of detention, we just win because we eat his prized amalgams. How is he casting off of that? Wait, does he have a Riftstone portal in there? Okay. Oh, he does. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Um, okay. Hmm. That is our way of stalling for the for not Mishra's Workshop, for the Grave Troll, is that we just get to keep running out a squee every turn. Hmm. I'm trying to think of. Please, please, just give me the deputy. Just, just one time. Yes. If I crack, well, desperate times. Hmm. If I attack here, that would kind of suck. Man, this is just all nonsense combat math. I really want him to dredge back something. Mm-hmm. We got a stinkweed imp? Well, that seems swell. Hmm. Oh, he's gonna hard cast a Grave Troll by paying the 2? Okay. Grave Troll's a 5-drop, so he can just cast those. Huh. This is so bizarre. He can't swing out, but we can't attack. So, I think by cutting off those 2 Stinkweedums, we may have won. Well, we might. Man, this format is so odd. What are you casting now? Okay, that's fair. So, if I play Squee, I have 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm an idiot. Wow, those were the punts. The puntiest punts. Well, I've learned my lesson. If I'm gonna play a vintage deck, should really practice it with it first. Hmm. Still don't know if we're going to win or lose. This is sort of a crapshoot. Yeah. Okay, well, that was definitely a learning experience, and hopefully we get another match sometime soon because holy cow. I never thought Vintage would take so long just to get matches, but it really has. Like, it takes 10 minutes to get a match. which is not something I'm necessarily used to, because Modern and Legacy are normally pretty fast to get matches. Hmm. Yeah. I don't actually know a whole ton about Vintage, so let's just keep looking at some lists. Okay, here's the Boogeyman. This one win con Boogeyman. Your win con, well, technically you have two win cons. You have Monastery Mentor, you have Snapcaster. Oh, this one is running Brain Freeze. Interesting. Oh, this one's just Bant. So a lot of the ones lists that I'm more familiar with run Yawgmoths will mentor a Snapcaster Mage Time Vault Key. And those are your win cons. That's it. And that's all you really need. But this list is spicy. It runs Mana Gorger Hydra out of the side because it's on all these. It's on a lot of cheap artifact mana. You are on 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10? 10 zero drops. And then you have. So, for a little while, Mana Gorger Hydra was viewed as like. It could be your extra copies of Monastery Mentor, which was pretty neat. This isn't the paradoxical list that I'm looking for, though. Here it is. Only without the Karn. Yeah, so normally when you think of a Storm deck, you don't think of a deck with, well, no Storm cards. But you don't need to. You just use Paradoxical Outcome to generate a lot of card advantage, which is enough. It means that you don't have to dedicate slots, and you don't really have to dedicate the cards to killing them in one turn. Instead, you can just dig and always have the force of wills you need to ensure that when you do play a mentor, it's well enough defended, and then you can cantrip in response to even if they abrupt decay it, which makes a really big difference in how the game is played. Mystic Remora is a very cool piece of tech that has been in a lot of vintage lists that I've seen. 2 tops is pretty normal. It means that you can do a top dance with Mentor and drawing and putting things on top. So you just move 2 back and forth, and your Mentor ends up getting really big and lots of tokens. So this is the deck that gets just utterly screwed when playing against Lavinia, because so much of their mana is dead, and they are really counting on being able to cast Karns and Force and Paradoxical Outcome and Dig Through Time without ever actually having to spend the real mana to cast it. Instead, there's a Lavinia and they can't play 0 drops. Yowza, it takes so long to queue up. Where's another one? This is... I guess they've sort of diverged from having... Okay. Here's an example of the list I was talking about. With a Monastery Mentor, a Snap, a Vault Key. This is the definition of as low win con as you can probably run in Vintage while still doing reasonably well and concluding your matches on time. Asper. Ooh. Fragmentize was a very good addition to the format. And this one's on Stony Silence in main. Weird. Sorry, I haven't gotten much sleep, so I may yawn a bunch. Hmm. Come on. Give me a match. I want I want to play more. It's really boring not getting to play Magic. Oh, here's another good example of vintage ingenuity, and by that I mean like tech from when Twin was still good and modern. That is to say, Taskers, Jace, and Death Shadow. A little behind the times. That's okay though. I think I'm going to eventually uh, stream this, and I think it'll probably be a very good time. That is to say, by this I mean Vintage Shadow. He runs a tabernacle? Wow. Bold. Mm. Alright. I'm going to be back in. We're going to have a very short intermission. Uh, and I'm going to be right back. Oh, we're back. I need to use the bathroom because I've been drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated. Okay. Hmm. I'll keep this. Turn 1, survival. Turn 2, I can double Vengevine Hollow one. I mean, if they stop it, there's not anything to do, but if it resolves and we get another turn, we are totally in the driver's seat. Because what we do, we pitch a Vengevine to get a Vengevine. We pitch the second Vengevine to get a Memnite. We cast. Hold on. We pitch the first Vengevine off that. Pitch the second Vengevine off that. Is my math off? Ooh, my math is off. Okay. I wish this deck had a Street Wraith, I guess. If I grab Vengevine, well, alternatively, I grab a Root Wallet, turn it. There's only one Spirit Guide in here. That sucks. Oh, I know. I remember how I'm supposed to do this. Okay, we did it. Remembered how to read. We get a Root Wallet, we search out a Memnite, we play the Memnite. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need that to resolve. Memnite. Then we beat in for 4. Yeah, this deck is so just brutal. And next turn, if we get another land, we'll be able to go off. Like, actually go off. Because if we get one more land, we can pitch both Deputy and Lavinia, grab 2 more Hollow, or grab a Root Walla and. No, grab a Vengevine and a Hollow one, then pitch the Vengevine, get another Hollow one. Play 3 Hollow ones and a Vengevine in one turn. Hopefully win. I mean, sometimes fair decks can deal with sort of ridiculous speed, but it's not particularly frequent. Take the Memnite? Good call. Okay. So if I get one Vengevine, pitch that, get a second Vengevine, pitch that, one Vengevine, trigger. Okay, I need to get a Vengevine. Grab another Vengevine, pitch that last Vengevine to get a hollow one. There we go. This is the dream. This is pod racing. Yeah, I don't see him coming back from this. No idea why. If anyone ever tells you that Vintage is completely uninteractive, tell them no, it's just mostly uninteractive. I don't know what Blue-Red Delver is on actually right now. Let's see. Vintage. Blue-Red. Has anyone even been, like, doing particularly well with? Oh, wait, hold on. No, it's... Duh. Well, I mean, Xerox is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Delver. Well, you know, that kind of stinks. So, Stony Silence is probably bad. We definitely need Nature's Claims. Plowshares is also definitely a card we want. Flusterstorm seems fine. So does Sorcerer's Spyglass. I don't think Lavinia is the best here. But I still want to have at least one of her. How much is Dak gonna be a pain in my butt? Yeah, this seems okay. Sometimes it's hard to get a feel for where you... Whoa, holy shit, that's... That's a... pretty good keep. So he must have a slow start. If we can get a Root Walla, I'm actually... I'd bet money we'd win if we get a Root Walla here. Or another hollow one. Either of those. Well, let's spin the wheel, so to speak. Next turn, that'll be a flying hollow one. We're probably going to go Wastelanded off the Bazaar, though, which is regrettable, to be honest. Or he's going to take this with the Dak Faden. Not taking it with a Dak. Okay. Hmm. So here's where we have a few different ways of doing this. Like, if we just. If we play out the Lavinia. Actually, I think I just want to attack first. Because then if. That was incorrect. Oh, that was bad. Other hand, it's a flying hollow one. It'll be fine. So I don't want to use the Bazaar here because there's just not a whole lot going on. Maybe next turn I'll just to activate the Bazaar just to dig for cards to cast. Sometimes, yeah, this is rough. Hollow One, this is like a Burning Query every turn, only you decide what you want to pitch, which is really nice. Other hand, kind of sucks because it's a Burning Inquiry every turn. Now the Dak. Oh, okay, so he's digging for Dak. So we have. Hmm. So I have 47 cards left. I'm drawing 2, going down to 45. I need to hit a hollow one. He has the worst luck with his Delvers. I see legacy. I see modern players who flip their Delvers more than this guy. Yeah, there's no reason for him not to attack because everything I play from this point on has flying thanks to Wonder. So in that regard, pretty set. Okay, so if he flips both Delver of Secrets, that's 5, 8. Yeah, I just have to beat in. Ooh. Oh noes. So he's looking just to get a lightning bolt. Is his game plan. Fortunately, I can activate this Bazaar of Baghdad, pitch 2 or pitch 3, hopefully get a basking root walla, which would end up flying and stopping him from being able to get lethal. Because Madness is a very weird ability, so it doesn't matter if it isn't at the right speed for the spell. Hopefully he's stuck with like a dig through time. That would be really nice. Unfortunately, no one ever is. So let's see. We block there, we block there. We are still being hit for 5. We need to be able to pitch a basking root walla. We can end up trading with a pyro and take 3, not die to a lightning bolt. And then we all Gucci. Yeah, I can live with that. Not the most exciting way of winning in the world. But the first game, we kind of had one of those nut hands, and Hollow One, when it gets those nut hands. Yeah, Basking Root Wall is a house. Okay. Got our first match win on some survival salad. Hopefully, it doesn't take quite so long to find an opponent this time, because that's like the worst feeling in the world. I think these matches have been a ton of fun, and honestly, I haven't enjoyed playing really any format as much as I have these last few games, because it's just so refreshing. I could see how, like, if someone were to try grinding Vintage, by the way, Vintage technically is the highest expected value of any format on MTGO. Believe it or not. The problem is that it takes forever to queue. But, other hand, if you have the time. Oh, hello. General Kenobi. Yes, I would like to play first. 100% keep that. I think my opponent may end up a little bit salty about this one. Uh, oh God, that's fucking great. That is such a good feeling. I I don't just wow. That was so brutal. I'm taking out the chalice going second just because it's a much worse going second. Um, I'm bringing in the swords and the nature's claims because even mentor decks, swords is fine against. The only thing I don't, I think I also want the spyglass because in some respects it is better than more Lavinia. Well, okay, Lavinia is a creature. I want that more than the Stony going second, probably. The Spyglass can also end up hitting Bazaar. Do I keep this misstep? I don't think I do. It's not like we have some sort of transformational board, so this is still absurd. We have the drop for the claim on the ley line, and we have a misstep to back it up. Well, this is honestly. Okay, so I don't want the second Bazaar. I obviously don't want to have the Vengevine. Is the Nature's Claim worth having, though? I don't think so. It was 100% worth having. Oh! I needed it to be able to deal with. I needed to have the claim to deal with that. So he's probably going to name. I don't actually know what even would is a decent name here. Okay, he was naming survival. That makes sense. Wow, that was the fastest win I have ever gotten with this deck. And that is the fastest queue I've ever had for vintage. Holy cow. I really want to keep this hand. So badly. But yeah, I have to keep this one. So I have to keep that as well. I can get double Vengevines out turn one. I'm hoping no Lavinia. Okay, so we get... So if I get another hollow one... If I get an Elvish Spirit Guide, pitch the Elvish Spirit Guide to get rid of the Noble to grab... So I pitched that. Wait. Am I just being an idiot? Vengevine, Noble... Oh, Vengevine. Okay, well, we have the turn 1 16 power. I don't think it's enough. I think we are still dead here. Other hand, he only has 2 artifacts. Yeah, he only had the 2 artifacts. That's why we won that. I didn't consider that as a potential reason. So we want our Nature's Claims, our Energy Fluxes, our Sorcerer's Spyglass. Flusterstorms are really good here. Stony is ridiculous. Gaddock Teague is really good. So I guess here's where gotta figure out what to cut. Chalice is also really good. Wonder doesn't matter because they are not doing those things. I think we can cut 1 survival. Here's where cutting things becomes really hard. The missteps aren't actually great because what hurts the most? Gaddock Teague turn 1 or Lavinia turn? Which one's easier to cast on turn 1? They're both equally as difficult to cast on turn 1. Energy Flux is probably worse going second. Duh. One Deputy. One Lavinia. One Noble. Yeah, I think it's probably a Noble. I think this is correct. I don't actually know because I have never really had to sideboard much with this deck. If this had a Bazaar, I mean, we have to keep it. Yeah, that is not at all surprising. Okay, we need... Man, this deck is really hard to play. I know that for anyone who probably really plays this format, that sounds kind of silly. He could have drawn 4 cards. Ooh. Well, I think we're probably screwed. Come on, dude. I was really hoping that would work. You know what would have helped with the whole KCI thing? Energy Flux. So he's just going to keep spinning top, trying to get to a paradoxical outcome, at which point I can cycle this hollow one, hopefully hit a Flusterstorm for a blowout. I don't know if... Like, this seems sort of ill-advised because, like, he wasn't necessarily getting any deeper with that Preordain, and I'm not doing anything. I'm saving the Memnite because it is potentially just better to sit on than do anything else. This is definitely going to be a problem for him. Because he can't outcome, he can't tendrils, he can't force, or actually a whole number of things. Okay. Yixla Jailer? Ooh. That's spicy. That's really spicy. Huh. So I need something probably pretty good. Uh, we'll, we'll cycle the hollow one. Okay. So we have the misstep for the top when he goes to cast it. And we have Flusterstorm for whatever he does with that. Hmm. Okay. So he's going to get a lot of tokens, is the big thing. I don't. He's getting a lot of tokens, but also we can. Yeah, the fact that this isn't symmetrical is ridiculous. And. Hmm. It's paradoxical outcome non token permanence. Yeah, I'd rather just let him sort of flounder on that than give him a chance to do anything. It's weird that every deck sort of becomes a prison deck after. At a point. So I need an energy field, probably, is what I'm looking for. if I play this, pitch the Vengevine, or I'll draw 2, pitch the Vengevine, I need to hit. No, I can't do that yet. It's a lot like a brainstorm that doesn't do what you want it to, I guess. Like, you need to have a certain number of cards and card density for it to matter. Hmm. Well, we're gonna be here by a while. I mean we're just probably dead. Actually, yeah, we're dead. I'm not going to bother wasting our time or their time on this. Let's see. Energy Flux is pretty good. Stony is really good. These are sort of cards we just want out there as fast as possible. Survival and Lavinia are much better now. That's 62. What is the cut? I actually think it's Lavinia, and probably missteps actually, because they aren't actually doing a whole ton. And at that point, I think I want a noble back. That or I want a Lavinia, but I think I want it to be the noble because I want just cards sooner. Yes. God. So tempting. Might be a little aggressive to run out the Lavinia on turn 1. Just a little aggressive. Do something. Okay, so he has to discard a bunch of cards, which is pretty good news for us because we definitely know that he's going to have a Sapphire. A land. I'm hoping this sticks. I mean, obviously, it's definitely not. If we get a survival, though, I think we just win because we got 3, so we get to dump 3 Vengevines and play 2 Hollow Ones, and we got 12 power on board. That's really good. I think Energy Flux would be best case. Man, Vintage is hard. Except when you just nut out a bunch of Hollow Ones. When you do that, it's pretty gosh darn easy. Survival. Please. You know, there are actually a ton of cards that would be okay here. That is a good one. So, one thing that's notable about Paradoxical Outcome is that it is closer to like a modern Storm deck than a Legacy one. You need, the only thing we're looking for is one very very specific card, namely like gifts in modern, and then everything else is just to ensure that you get as much value out of that card as possible. So now we run out 2 Hollow Ones and hope he doesn't have Recall. I think it is. Recall is a 3-drop, 2-drop. Oh, yes. So now we have him on a 3-turn clock because we can pump the Basking Root Walla and we can just sort of cave his skull in. Ideally, we draw something like another Basking Root Walla and we can just activate Bazaar to activate Bazaar. He might just combo off this turn. he's going to he's just trying to get another paradoxical outcome because he needs to. Oh, he grabbed a. Very interesting. Was honestly not expecting that. Let me resolve a recall once today. Hmm. Oh shit. Well, this suddenly became much trickier. Um, the survival obviously can go. I hate having to pitch energy flux. So if I get rid of the mana vault, hmm. Man, this deck is really. This is just quite the number. I've never. Easiest league I have ever played, and I mean that seriously ish. Yeah. So, today we played some Survival Salad, the vintage something deck. Uh, it is here for anyone who is interested. You can pause a video because this will be a replay if you want to. Um, I don't have anything good to say about this deck. Not like the deck isn't good. The deck is pretty nuts, and I think we could have gone 5-0 if I knew anything about how to play it. Uh, but I don't. So, I think I may end up streaming this sometime later this week, maybe Friday, just to get some more super silly fun reps in with this deck. All in all, it's been a blast. Aside from the really long wait times, yeah, queuing is a nightmare for vintage, but the deck is a ton of fun if you have mana traders 100% just give it a shot. It's cheap. It's it is quite the thrill to play. So, with that, good night everybody.